Hello, No Borders shareholders. Joseph Snyder here, coming to you from the lovely city of Dallas on this balmy March day. We are here in Dallas today and coming to you with a shareholder update video because we are just wrapping up our annual financials for 2020. I'm here meeting with our auditors and our CPAs. We will be filing our 2020 annual financials with OTC Markets any day now, and following that up with 2 full years of audited financials that we'll be filing with the SEC. Moving forward from that time, we will move forward as a fully SEC reporting company, and we will be filing our quarterlies and our annuals from then on with the SEC. Obviously, we've had an incredible year. It's had its challenges for sure, and I know that all of you, as our very patient and waiting shareholders, have stuck with us to a great degree in hopes that we would be able to work through the challenges that these regulatory issues and things have caused this year. I'm very happy to sit here today in Dallas with the team of people that we have, the amazing relationship that we have with our accounting folks. I was able to meet with our auditors in person earlier this morning. That was the first time we've actually met in person due to COVID. So most of the relationships that we've had with legal and financial teams over the past year have really circled around digital engagement, Zoom meetings, those kinds of things. And while we're a proponent of that, we were Zoom meeting before Zoom meeting was cool, right? As a remote work company all the way back in 2018, and even before that, as our organization, before we did the merger to go public as No Borders, we've believed in remote work and those things for a long time. But with that said, these types of relationships, the relationship that you have with auditors, the relationship that you have with accounting firms and legal firms who are working to understand not just what did you do and was it done, correctly, but why did you do it? Why does it impact the things that you're doing, and how do these things connect together? There's an interpersonal piece of that that's really important. And so I love Dallas. It's a great city. It's got amazing food, fantastic people. The yoga's pretty good. The weather's fantastic. But I am here working directly with these people at this kind of critical moment in time. We're closing out Q1 2021. That's amazing and crazy to say. It's been a year since COVID really started in the U.S. And that year has seen incredible growth for our company, incredible impact that we've been able to have in the marketplace, bringing in critically needed items like NIOSH N95s, vaccine needles and syringes, medical gowns, medical caps, every sanitizers, sanitizing wipes, everything in between that our company has not only been able to manufacture and procure and import and distribute, but also things that we've gone out and been able to add layers of value and add layers of availability to things that people just couldn't absolutely get, just could not get their hands on. We have grown in ways that are really hard to describe from where we were this time 12 months ago. If you look at that on a trajectory of infrastructure, a trajectory of capital, a trajectory of inventories, these are absolute hockey stick graphs that are just headed in one direction. Obviously, our share price doesn't follow that at the moment. And we believe that there's a large discrepancy between those two realities. That obviously is yet to be seen on the public market side, in no small part to the regulatory issues that we had with around this time last year. And we've worked proactively through those issues. But as I sit here today, our operations are much more mature. Our capital base is much more mature. We hold millions and millions of dollars in inventories on our books every single day, and we import vast volumes of goods from factory direct relationships as the FDA registered medical device importer of record on a consistent basis. And we bring in very special things every single day, and we deliver them to states of the union, hospitals across the country, VA hospitals. We do these things over and over and over in an impact and impactful and proactive method. So where are we, and why does it matter today, and where are we going? You know, when we began talking about moving aggressively to serve the needs during COVID last year, we were in a position where we had some existing supply chains, we had existing supply relationships, and we understood how to move these things around. But we did not currently have at that moment a lot of proof that we were going to be good at it. I knew we would. Our teams knew that we would. But y'all didn't know how that was going to pan out, a year ago. Here we sit today with a massive increase in value for the business, whether that be a metrics of sales. Our Q4 over Q3 sales in 2020, and understand, you guys have read Q3, you know the impact that we had in Q3 2020. Compared to all of 2019, it was many times more, multiple times more revenue in Q3 than we had in 2020. Well, we had multiple times more revenue in Q4 2020 than we had in Q4 2019 by a long shot. And we actually had more revenue in Q4 than we did in Q3 2020. So the growth trajectory of the company and the impact that goes with that growth has been very, very, very strong. We have risen to the occasion time and again. We've built incredible supply chains, incredible partnerships around the globe. We are factory direct manufacturing Medident Supplies branded items such as vaccine needles and syringes, boot covers, gowns, caps, bouffants, N95s, surgical masks, the entire gamut of things that is needed, while we still serve the dental community in a huge way, we still serve the small size clinic community in a huge way, but a large portion of our business is now focused on these state level and large healthcare level and federal government level purchasing needs in order to support Operation Warp Speed, in order to support Homeland Security, in order to support the vaccine distribution across the country. We currently import tens of millions of needles and syringes on a continuous basis. And we have hundreds of millions of needles and syringes and tens of millions of NIOSH N95s in production at any given time. And that puts us in a position to have an impact on the market, to have an impact on the ground, to make sure that people like you and people that are at risk and first responders can not only have the safety equipment that they need every single day, but that they can get the vaccine. That they can get vaccinated because that equipment is on the ground. You can have all the bottles of vaccine in the world, but if you don't have 1 ml Luer Lock low dead space syringes and needles or safety needles to go with them, you can't get the vaccine into people. And so that's a value layer that we add to the market. We closed out 2020 with almost $9 million in top line revenue. That's an 18-fold increase over the year before. I'm not sure how we metric that in the financial world, and I leave that to the finance guys. That's not my job. My job is to have the impact. I understand that our current market, as we work through finishing these audits, meetings I had this morning in person with our auditors, great people. I'm very grateful to have them. Filing those audited financials with the SEC and moving us forward into a fully SEC reporting company. As we get through those things, the market will begin to align with the impact that we have. I expect that alignment to be a dramatic differential from where we are currently trading today. Basic math tells me that it should be. And our sales and our impact and our revenues and our deployment continue to grow day by day. We will do larger volumes of goods. We will deliver larger volumes of goods. We will manufacture, import, transport, distribute larger volumes of goods in Q1 than we did in Q4. That's a fact. We plan on continuing that growth as we build longer-term client relationships, as we deliver on larger and larger contracts for states and hospitals, government agencies, and all the way down to civilians. You know, you can still go on MetaNetSupplies.com today and buy a single box of masks as a civilian, and it will leave our warehouse and distribution center in Mesa, Arizona the next day. Speaking of our warehouse and distribution facilities in Arizona, not only are we now staging larger and larger volumes of goods like needles and syringes, like NIOSH N95s in Compton, where we're able to bring things in directly from the port and stage them in large volume and then break them apart, but we've just doubled our square footage in Mesa, Arizona. And so we were able to take over the space next door to our existing facility. We have construction crews in there literally today knocking out walls and moving things around so that we can utilize that space more effectively and so that we can have a greater impact by having immediate access to an even larger volume of goods out of our distribution center in Mesa, Arizona. That distribution facility did not even exist yet this time last year, and we're already doubling the scale and the scope of it. We have phenomenal teams. We have built a positive, powerful, and impactful business in the face of great adversity, not only of adversity on the regulatory side. I mean, look, what was done by the Securities and Exchange Commission, from my point of view, was egregious and ridiculous. Do I understand why they did it in that moment, in that ecosystem? I do. You know, they suspended, I think, 12 different companies that were talking about COVID, and I haven't gone and checked on any of those, but I would argue to say that we are probably the only one that has actually delivered millions and millions of dollars worth of COVID-related items to critically needed healthcare, first responders, and government agencies across the country. I don't think anybody else has done that. So I understand that piece, but the action itself was still egregious. You know, to start with a suspension instead of really asking questions and getting an understanding, I think is the wrong way to do it. But they don't ask me what I think. I can promise you that. So we've dealt with that, but that wasn't really the biggest challenge that we faced this year. You know, the real challenge that we faced over the last year is getting things that are critically needed and importing them and getting them to end users. That's the part that's really hard for most of the ecosystem. That's the reason why the value proposition exists the way that it does, is that it's hard for the large players, and these are very large companies that we compete against. These are companies that are worth tens, if not multiple tens of billions of dollars. And they can't keep up with the demand that their customers have. They can't fulfill any more 1 ml syringes. They can't give any more N95s to their existing customers. They've got everybody on limited allocation. Those challenges we have not only faced, but we have aggressively solved for with limited capital, limited time and market experience of doing large, complex import things, and we've done it very successfully. We've done it continually, and we have shown ourselves to the government agencies, to the commercial agencies, to the healthcare networks, to all of our individual buyers. We have shown that and to our suppliers, right? The reason that we have the relationships that we do in China and around the world is that we have shown up time and again, and we have done what we said we would do, and we have distributed product throughout the United States. Those are very hard things to do. They're very, very hard things to do, especially in a globally broken supply chain. So as we move our company forward through 2021, and as we work to make a lot of money, help a lot of people, and have a lot of fun, Metadent Supplies will continue to be a core part of that. It is the largest portion of our revenue by a long shot at the moment. We are obviously also focused on the work that No Borders Labs is doing and how blockchain interacts with some of these ecosystems and supply chains that we're working on. We're also working on several kind of under the radar projects at the moment that I hope to be talking about soon. Some are specifically in No Borders Labs and they're very interesting. No Borders Naturals is still one of my favorite lines of products. It's a fantastic line of wellness products that we're very, very proud of. That's done very consistently well throughout the past year, and continued to grow, continued to add on layers of customer base, and help people feel better, rest better, sleep better with the wellness line. So these are impacts that we're proud to have, and these are areas of business and areas of interest for us where we see still great potential and long-term impact for our company and all of our shareholders. We have done a lot of hard things over the past year. I don't expect things to be easy. I didn't sign up to do easy, but I really believe that we're just about at the point where we're going to be able to be recognized from the market side of things for the work that we do, for the impact that we have, and for the results that we already have literally in the bank. There is no real way to describe the true impact that our company has today when it comes to the vaccine and to the distribution of vaccine needles and syringes. We are literally coast to coast. There are literally millions of vaccines that have been given to Americans all across this country because of the work that we do, and I am incredibly proud of that. From the FDA legal teams that we have with Ben in England, from Cynthia and her teams running operations and paying bills, from Chris and his teams building out all of our tech systems and tech stacks and sales systems, from Stefan and Mariah and all of the Brandon running the warehouse and distribution center, all of the various impact pieces of our teams and all the dozens and dozens of other people that make all of that happen. I'm just incredibly proud of everybody. I'm incredibly grateful, and we look forward to sharing another amazing year with you guys. Going from 2019 to 2020 with 18x overall gross revenue income is a huge milestone, and I sincerely believe that we have the opportunity to grow like that or better 2021 over 2020. I look forward to sharing more information with you as we have it. I look forward to sharing our annual financials on OTC markets, and also to filing our 2 years of fully audited financials and being a fully SEC reporting company on the U.S. markets. NBDR is the vehicle that we plan to use for a very long time to operate the holding company and the infrastructure to support the business ventures that we want to play with. And it is a game. It is a grand, complex, challenging game. But the rewards are impactful. The things that we do on the ground make a real difference. And the growth that we have employs dozens of people across multiple continents. And we get to have a true impact on the health and wellness of Americans from coast to coast, in no small part because of the vaccine, but also when it comes to PPE and safety equipment and all these other things, and then just health and wellness on our naturals lines and things like that. So I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful for the opportunity, and I look forward to keeping you guys posted as the year progresses. Joe Snyder from Metadent Supplies. Have a great day.